So EA Play 2017 came and went, and it was... meh? It wasn't insultingly terrible compared to last year, but this year just felt a little bit too boring, as I was, watching too much of the same thing over and over again. We had some new games, we had some similar games, we had some games that we know already, with details that we got confirmed, and sports, with story modes, because why not? Campaign, single player, just add that a little bit more so we can make more drama. With confirmed games like FIFA 17, Madden and NBA having story modes, with Madden and FIFA having their similar style, Madden having long shot, FIFA having journey continued with that from last year's. Which, the journey mode wasn't bad, it was just a little bit boring in some bits. Rivals joining your teams, rivals joining your opposite team, it was just nothing spectacular, nothing great. It could have been done better, but this is EA we're talking about after all, so why not? We have an attempt at that. Then we had A Way Out. A Way Out being a game created by the same people behind Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. So basically, it follows brothers, again, this time in a modern setting, and bank heists, because bank heists and robbing is a pretty fun thing to do in video games. Ask Payday and GTA for that. Which, the presence of the game isn't bad. It's co-op, split screen, or online. They prefer couch for it, but unless if it's not forced, it's fine. If it's forced, then I don't think it's a perfect suggestion for it. It's an attempt, but all in all, we would rather prefer if it was not forced. And now we have BioWare. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. BioWare announced a brand new game named Anthem, which I am not really that hooked up for. Personally, after Mass Effect Andromeda, it wasn't that much of a strong point. And the fact that they put the series on hiatus just really, really killed it for me. Here's hoping that the game will be good. Other than that, I'm not hoping for anything. They're announcing it for E3 for Xbox, which all in all is a bit of a waste of time for a minute or so, because why on earth would you even do that? Why on earth would you do that when essentially what you could do is just give it a short little sneak peek. Technically, they did do a short little sneak peek, but they could be able to announce all of it on Xbox's E3 and just surprising the audience rather than just making them be like, why? Why would I waste my time for that? EA then continued with Battlefield 1, a game which already got announced last year, released last year, and now we're just getting DLC confirmations, with essentially just night maps. Battlefield then decided to call it a New Revolution, which all in all is just a DLC pack being in the name of the Tsar, coming out in September, which 2 weeks early for premium members, 2 weeks later for everyone who did not get premium, which you get new maps, weapons, vehicles, Women's Battalion of Death, and Hussars. Which ain't a bad thing, personally. I think it's pretty interesting, but, could be better. I wish they didn't announce that, but, you know, it's EA. They'll do what they do. Which we now move on to Need for Speed The Crew. Oh, I meant Need for Speed Payback, because it's apparently a different game. I don't know. They start off with a clickbait YouTuber, which sounds great, because why not? You may as well do it even more, and just give the community a bit more of a slap in the face. We've had basically the gameplay and the story being somewhat Fast and Furious, not the old ones, just the new stupid action-based ones, and the crew just having a group, dealing with a group, all in all just crazy action, cars, destruction, and just it being the same thing as last year. Or 2 years back, if you're not getting it from PC, which was a bit of a disappointing game, personally. Could have been better, but it wasn't, so, you know, moving on from that. Then we had talk regarding Frostbite and Seed, which was Search for Extraordinary Experience Division, which is a small stealth team which explains about deep learning, neural network, and having humans with AI. And instead of just having the idea of having a protagonist with a million of them, you can have millions of players having millions of protagonists instead of just having a single one. What they're trying to do is to blur reality with virtual reality. That they want to create interactive entertainment that blurs it all together, which was pretty good. And then they ruined that immediately with talking about Xbox Scorpio and 6 teraflops. Do people understand what teraflops are at this point? And then came the last point of the E3, The fact of Star Wars. It started off with many of us wanting campaign, which is a legit argument because many of us wanted an actual campaign for the game, not just a lame, multiplayer only, irritating experience of a game. Much like the previous disappointing game. I mean, it could have the 2 effect, where basically, similar to Titanfall 2, it added the story, added a bit more to the game, and it actually felt really damn good. It could be like that. Or they could ruin it, and just potentially destroy the whole series outright. Destroying all the hopes and dreams of all the fans who enjoyed the original games. Thanks, DICE. The story is basically set between episodes 6 and 7 with Inferno Squad, which can be an interesting take. Basically, you're going from Imperial to the New Order. Can be a nice take, can be an interesting take, or it could be very boring. It depends how DICE would execute it, as their track record with campaigns isn't great. It's not really great or good at all. They also explained that they have 3 times more content than the base game, so basically it's a AAA game now. Many people applauded that, which... meh. Many of us wanted that in the base game originally. The fact that you're doing it now, while understanding that you're learning criticisms, could have been a little bit too little too late for a few people who may have just skipped the game outright and just ignore what's happening. However, there is one little positive bit about it. Free content coming out, instead of just being Season Pass and DLC like Naboo, Cloud City, Death Star, that's the base last game. There is free content coming out for the game, which is actually a really good take on this game. Meaning for instead of just ignoring the game outright, many of us are just like, why not? Pay attention to the game a bit more, because of the fact that 1, there's now content which we don't have to pay for, and 2, it's not that much of a bullshit thing to not pay. There is a good thing behind all of this, and especially the fact that there's no longer a Season Pass, which is great, which means we don't need Death Star or Cloud City / Bespin anymore to be able to pay as microtransactions, which was really, really shit. Now we just get free vehicles, free weapons, free maps, and free characters, which is pretty good. The first season apparently is going to be of Finn and Captain Phasma for Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Sounds really good. Sounds hopeful. Here's to hope that the game would actually be really damn good. And then comes the pre-order, where basically you can be able to get the access to the beta, and then Yoda's lightsaber strap. The second point's already convincing because it's Yoda's lightsaber strap. Fuck the beta, you just get Yoda's lightsaber strap. Already worth it right off the bat. I mean, why not? Thankfully, we had gameplay. 30 minutes of it online, especially with certain aspects of the game that we were uncertain of. Dogfighting is back. Hopefully, here's to them removing the token system of the game outright. There's Darth Maul and Rey involved in the game, which they do have interesting mechanics, especially Darth Maul using his lightsaber throw similar to Battlefront 2. The previous one by Pandemic, not DICE. Where there's now operations, which basically have more or less 2 phases involved. First one is to get certain aspects, such as destroying a part of a base, or trying to get into the infiltration point, and the second point, capturing control points. Which in turn was a really good thing. It actually was a really positive idea that they done, because instead of just doing the same thing over and over again, we finally get more stuff involved, which is great. Plus there's also co-op and skirmish, which all the more feels great. And customization, which reminds a lot of people of Elite Squadron, mainly, which is a really interesting game. However, it's only on PSP, so what a shame. All in all, this whole E3 conference was, like I said, not terrible. It wasn't insanely bad. But it was boring. Too much sports. Still a little bit of gameplay. Not too much of it. Which means some people, they're just anticipating more and not getting enough as intended. But I do understand that they want to keep things somewhat in the dark, so that's EA, I guess. Here's hoping that Xbox will finally reveal more about Project Scorpio rather than just talking about 6 teraflops. Because now that term is dead in the water. You may as well just pull the life support out of it. That term just died with the Xbox fanboys involved. Meh.